Hello, lovely friends. Welcome and thank you for watching your general signs free monthly tarot reading with me, Lorien. It's December, the final month of 2015. Whether you have had a good or bad journey this year, we've all gone through things together. I think there's been some common ground, some universal consciousness as well. So whatever has been your path this year, I'm sure that we'll be entering 2016 with a little bit of anticipation as to what it's going to bring with us, and also a certain air of renewal. Maybe we want to know what kind of good things we're drawing in. Some of us may be glad to see the back of 2015. Some of us may be, saying goodbye to 2015 with kind of a fond farewell. But I'm sure we'd like to know how we are tying up this year and what sort of energies we're dealing with in this final month. So hopefully it'll be on a high note for a lot of us. If you'd like to get in touch with me for a private reading, all the details are below. I have a website and email address. If you'd like to donate or support me on Patreon, that information is also down below. And thank you very much for everybody who subscribed and liked and shared the videos. I really do appreciate that. Also, just a side note, the site is going to be having a little bit of a switch around. So if you can't find something, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to assist you. So without further ado, let's get on to these December readings. I'm really looking forward to finding out what's in store for all of you. Hello my wonderful Sagittarian lovelies, thank you very much for your patience in getting this video out and also for tuning in to your monthly December 2015 tarot reading. This video was prepared a few weeks ago, however when I listened back to the narration it had turned me into a chipmunk. So, there's a brief video on Twitter actually of me sounding like a chipmunk. So, this is why there's a slight delay. However, I thought it might be best just to kind of take a step back from the Sagittarius reading and then regroup and have a look at it. Because I'm looking at the cards now, which are from the Legends Arthurian Tarot deck, and also the Oracle card is by the Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. This seems to be something that is really calling out for a deeper review. Now, even as we look at it, it says life review. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that does not serve you. And that's Archangel Jeremiel. I'm just going to have a look. I did meditate before I started this reading again. A lot of the same messages from the last video that you didn't get to see are still very much present in this one. So I am just going to take a little bit of time with you now to just review and see what messages are coming through, what you have to take notice of, what things seem to be, I don't know, just very poignant for you right at this point in time. Okay, so on the first week we have the Six of Swords. Now the Six of Swords is very much in this deck because it does differ slightly from the usual tarot. It's movement or journey and a sense of moving away from something that no longer serves you in the way of danger. So if you feel like you're in a position which is very toxic, and if you feel like there's an improvement to be made, stepping into the unknown can seem a little bit scary to some people, but for the Sagittarians out there who I know, being a little bit daring and being your own knight in shining armour, I think this could be an opportunity. There's an anticipation as well of stepping into that unknown space as to claiming something for yourself and for your own. They can sometimes indicate delays, but this is moving away from something. Maybe you'll have a few people around you to help you, but from what I can see playing out on these cards at this point in time is very much a strong case of unity. So you won't be on your own if you decide to leave this past behind you. You certainly won't be needing to worry about the others, for instance family, how they're going to cope, friends, that kind of thing. You won't need to worry about this change in circumstances because others will be supportive. Now you may of course get the odd person who doesn't understand your reasoning for moving away from the certain aspect that you decide to do. However, I do get the sense that you are going to be overall very pleased with the response that you get from certain people, and they will be supportive for you, and I think that you'll know when the time is right. In that first week of December, you could be starting the plans for movement. You could be starting the necessary steps to take you away from certain aspects that you're in now. So this could be a relationship even. This could be friendships that you no longer need. Either way, it seems like you need to get out of the toxicity that's around you. If there are negative Nellies around, make sure that they're put in their place and that you don't really pay attention to them. So that seems to be quite important for you as well. In the second week, we have the Four of Spears, which is happy social occasions. So in this card, I don't know whether you can see, but the focus appears to be the couple in the middle, dancing, reunion, celebration of finally returning to your rightful place. But my eye is drawn to the woman in green who's holding her hand out for a child, to pay attention to the child rather than watch the ceremony or the celebration taking place right now. It seems like she's almost forgotten in the background and she's just not really taking much precedence, and she's taking care of the little things rather than enjoying the moment because she knows that the child needs her, or I think this really lends itself to paying attention to the little things so the bigger things fall into place. Now everybody else is enjoying the couple in the middle, whereas you may feel like you're missing out on something, or there's something that everybody else aspires to. You don't really see it in that way. You see more joy in the other things. You see more joy in whatever else you can accomplish, like a milestone. So you don't need to bother yourself with that aspect. And this seems to be coming through incredibly well. But as I look as well at this card, it seems like there's almost a shadow in the background on the top balcony. I don't know whether you can see that as well. Yes, it's the shadow of the people celebrating, but sometimes I think that she may be looking away a little bit from that shadow, from the people who seem to be looming over her with happiness. And I think, the change that you're going to investigate or instigate in December, it could leave you feeling a little bit sad, a little bit like, oh, but then, you have to take a step back because of the important things. For this woman, it's because of the child. For you, it could be because of a personal goal or just your morals. You could feel like you were compromised in some way, and the fact that you started this journey was to take you away from the society's expectations in some form or another, because you are the sign of this philosopher. So it could be more to do with how you see the world, and you realised you were very much distant from the way other people saw the world, and you didn't really match that up in some way. This also appears to me to be a little bit of time out before the storm. So you're kind of making peace with something here. And that could be that you're making peace with the fact that you are different, and the fact that you want different things, that you see different things in society. And I think that will lend itself to the third week. Now, this is a highly active imagination card, the Seven of Cups, but it also brings a lot of humour. And I feel like with yourself, it's just waking up. You've had a nice celebration, a nice rest of actually coming through that. You understand, you've readjusted your perspectives, and now you're ready to start off on a new day, greet the sun, and make sure everything's moving forwards. Now, on the third week, we do enter the solstice. So whether it's the summer solstice, for those of you in the summer hemisphere, or the winter solstice up here in the northern hemisphere, you are going to feel very strongly like there's a new day now. There's a new period of time where you can set your mind to things and get them accomplished. And yes, it's also Christmas and whatever other religious holidays other people celebrate, but for you all particularly, this could be something where you say, right, that is done, the darkest night is over, now I'm going to see what happens. Or the longest evening is over, let's go and see what happens. You may be a little bit into a flight of fancy with this week as well. Other people could come through and entice you with new opportunities, or your mind could start running away with you. For instance, okay, new dawn, new day, let's see what I can play with now. That's not a bad thing. That is really not a bad thing. but you may want to take a step back and see where your allegiances lie if that's the case, because sometimes doing something on a whim may lend itself to something a little bit less rewarding in the future. So just take a little bit of step back and contemplate whether this is worth your time and worth your energy to go forward in such a flight of fancy that it could shape the rest of your time. Looking at this as well, in the last week we have the King of Cups. Now this is a mature, dignified man, very soulful, emotional man, and I do feel it's you. Yes, you may have taken on a longer, more solitary path over the course of however many weeks, days, months that it's taken you to get to this point. However, what I do feel with this is that your strong spiritual faith and your views, it could be liberal views, it could be politic views, whatever, they will be reaffirmed. And though he looks like he's in solitary, he's just being patient. He's waiting for the fish to come to him. He's waiting for things to make sense and for people to follow, or for things to start happening where he's already set up the particular stage, if you will. He's been backstage, he's been trying to organise things behind the scenes, and now he's very much faithful and understanding that this is going to be coming to fruition now. He is someone who can be relied on for guidance and encouragement. Now I'm saying he because it's the King of Cups. This could be you. This could be representing somebody you know, if there's a water sign gentleman, or a masculine person, shall we say, who seems to fit the bill of that. But whatever they are, if they're another person and not yourself, could be a successful businessman, scientist, artist. I get the feeling it could even be a writer, seeing as Sagittarius is also the sign of literature and things like that. So it could be that you further your education in some way, or decide that you've educated yourself enough over the downtime in December, because I do think they are calling for you to have some kind of mental downtime in some way. So that could be very prominent for you. It could also be very strong for you in other ways, that you start the new year in 2016 in a much gentler, freer time. Now the life review, I do think this is basically taking all the cards into account. This is telling you that you may want to start looking at how things are moving, if you do prioritize different things, where you can change things, how you can apply that, letting go of any negative people and places and situations, even changing the way you feel about your finances. That could be something that you need to do. Overall, though, it seems like there's an incredibly strong, wonderful December coming through. As tough as it may seem to some of you, it does appear to me to have that little extra je ne sais quoi, there's something that here which is underlying everything, and it's just been reinforced by looking at these cards again, meditating on them again, and saying, okay, yeah, I understand what's happening now. If you would like to take a look and see what's coming forwards for you in 2016, I'd be more than happy to do a personal reading for you. Those are on my website now. If you just have a question, you're not bothered about the new year necessarily, those readings are also available, as well as some spirit guide readings. If you just want to take a look and see how you can support me and donate in other ways, all that information is below. And as usual, I love hearing from you, getting emails, Twitter messages and Facebook likes, and whatever that you do to connect with me. It's absolutely great. So with this in mind, and the message for December, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for you in January. And in the meantime, I do hope that you have your best month yet to round off 2015. Thank you ever so much for listening, and I look forward to talking to you soon.